Today I'm going to show you guys how to make a paper animation. This effect can be used for multiple things. You can use this in an official music video, you can use this as a lyric video, you can use this for Spotify covers, you can make actual cover art with this. You can really do a lot of things with this. So that's one of the reasons why I really like this effect. I'll stop talking and we'll get right into the video. So to start out, you're going to want to have a picture of a background. I found this on Google by just typing in city park drawing. And so once you have this, what you're going to want to do is print this image out. You can always draw this to start out, but that takes more work. Once your image is printed out, what I'm going to start by doing is coloring the image. To color the image, you can use anything really. I'm going to use crayons and colored pencils. You can use markers, whatever you want. Once you get the whole image colored, what I'm going to do here is come in with a pen and I'm just going to outline everything. In addition to the outline, what I did is draw some grass marks in the grass. Once you do this, you're going to scan it or take a picture and get it to your computer. Now what we're going to do here is create the sky or the backdrop behind that image we just colored. For this, I'm going to use black watercolor for the sky. This is because my shot is shot at night, and so I kind of want to match the scene. For this backdrop, it's going to be more of a texture kind of thing, so what I'm going to do here is just draw a giant black kind of square. This is where you can get creative with it, but the whole idea is just to create a texture. Once that's done, we're going to create our subject. So to start this, I'm going to use a pencil and just kind of draw out the subject from a side view. You're going to want to start out using pencil because this takes a little bit of time and you can definitely make mistakes here. So I use the pencil just so I can erase things and go back. I tend out to start drawing the body first and then the legs, and then I go to the head and then the hair. I'll start out by creating a generalized subject and then I'll customize it with what the subject's wearing. Once this is done, what I'm going to do is get a black pen and I'm just going to go over the outlines of the pencil. Once the outline's completed, what I'm going to go and do is erase all of the pencil underneath the black ink. I got a little ahead of myself and went to coloring already, but what I'm actually going to do is create shadows with the pen. And so this isn't required, but I like the kind of effect of it, and so I just outline kind of the side and imitate a shadow. Once that's done, we can go back to coloring, and so you're going to want to have an image of your subject placed close to you so you can kind of replicate all those colors. Once that's done, I'm going to bring back my pen and just outline my subject once more. Once this is done, you're going to scan this and upload it to your computer. Once your images are uploaded to your computer, what you're going to do is import them into Photoshop. I'm going to start by getting this first scene here, and I'm going to move this to our project window. Once in there, I'm going to reposition it really quickly, and I'm going to select the quick selection tool, and I'm going to cut out the background. Once this is done, I'm just going to deselect the selection and then I'm going to export as a PNG. Moving on to the background, what I'm going to do is just move this to our project window once more. Once it's in the project window, I'm just going to scale it up and export it. The last image to work on is the subject. This one's a little tricky, but we're going to do the same thing and move it to our project window. I'm then going to rescale the image and I'm going to use the quick selection tool and delete the background. Now we're going to have to animate the feet, and so export that and that'll be your first position. We're then going to have to animate the feet for two different positions. I like to import this into my Photoshop so I can see how the animation works. Since we already did that third position with our first export, we're going to move on to the middle one. And so what I'm going to do is just make a selection of the left foot. Once the foot's moved, I'm going to move it to the side. Then I'm going to copy a layer. This is where things can get a little tricky, but what you're going to want to do is select the foot and delete it from the original subject. The copied layer should be the only layer with the foot involved. And so now you can see the foot's removed from the original subject and you have the copy alone with just the foot. So then you're going to reposition the foot to match one of the frames. I'm going for the second middle frame, so I'm going to reposition the leg accordingly. Once you have the leg in position, you could tweak it by using the eraser tool to erase some of it, and then you could also use the clone tool to start matching up the two images. So for the clone tool, I'm going to change the size a little bit, and I'm just going to start making it so it fits the leg in a more natural position. Right now I'm doing this pretty roughly. It's not going to be perfect here, but I'm just going to do it pretty quickly for your guys' sake. Once this is done, you're going to just export this, and that's going to be the second position in your animation. Once that's done, you're going to do the same process, but you're going to do it for a different position. So we're going for that first position on the far left, and so I'm going to tweak it so it matches. Like I said, I'm just doing a pretty rough job. You guys can definitely do a lot cleaner job of this, but once you have that finished, what you're going to do is export it, and you should have 3 different positions for your animation. After that, what you're going to want to do is just import all 3 of your images. And so I'm going to first start out with the park, and I am just going to rescale it up to something that I like. After that, I'm going to work on the background. So what I'm first going to do is drag that across underneath, and I'm going to change my blend mode to overlay. After that, I'm going to duplicate a layer below, and then I'm going to move this so it's only 3 frames. Now what I'm going to do is just change the blend mode to normal again, and I'm just going to scale it up. This adds more depth to the image, and also we're going to animate the background. So I'm just going to duplicate the clip, and I'm going to change the position of it just so it looks like it's animating. I'm going to repeat this a couple times just so it looks like it's a longer animation. After you animate it 4 or 5 times, you can just copy it and paste it and just keep doing it for the whole clip. Once you do that, you should get something like this. The next step is to add your subject, and so you want to place them in the order of the animation positions. I'm then going to scale them to a size that I want, and then I also have to make a mask here because there was some excess stuff that I didn't want in there, but you're just going to copy all that and paste it to all 3 of those clips. Once you have that animation, what you're going to do is just copy and paste it for however long you want it. Now your subject should be animating, but he's still not moving. So what we're going to do here is just nest the whole animation of the subject. And once that is done, we're going to just scale and position, and we're just going to add keyframes of motion to look like the subject is walking. So I'm going to start it in this right corner kind of, and then I'm going to have him walk down the path. So what I'm going to do is move to the end, and then I'm going to move the position of the subject down towards where I want him to walk. This is what it looks like now. We can add a couple more things. I'm going to change the color here. You can change this however you like, just so the subject stands out from the background a little better. Finally, what you can also do is just nest the whole sequence, and you could add some more motion to it. So what I'm going to do is just have the motion follow him, and then it's just going to pan out. You could also add any kind of shake just to sell that kind of motion look. You could really do a lot of things with it. You could add flickers or whatever you like. So now I'm going to show you a little bit of how to combine it with some original footage. And so what I do is just get an adjustment layer, and I'm going to put that over. It's going to be 4 frames long. And then what I'm going to do is just go to the effect panel and look up Lumetri color. I'm going to drag that on and just keyframe the exposure just for a quick flash kind of look. Once this is done, it's just going to be a nice transition from the regular footage you have to the animation you created. Thank you so much for watching. If you really like this video, check out my video on this cool paper flash effect.